Hello everyone, welcome to Ariana's Light, aka Baronet's Braces. Let's go ahead and get into it. So today, I'm doing something a little different. I'm getting motion into my body, you know what I mean? No, I'm just in all actuality, I want to kind of switch things up. I'm already starting to sort of integrate this into my business activities. But what I'm talking about is that I'm moving away from tarot cards. And it's not that I'm going to stop using them, it's that I feel like I'm doing it to make money. I feel like I'm doing tarot to make money, and I don't want it to be about that. When I first started it, I had the idea in my mind that I was going to do something that brings value to people's lives in the way that I help them be authentically themselves without a filter or believing that they have to be anything outside of them. I help them connect to the things, the people, and places that they aspire to be aligned with. And I do that by working with their energy system and removing energy codes that have been placed there since youth. So say your parent raised you in the aspect of don't ask nobody for nothing. Don't ask them for this when we go here, and don't do this, and don't say this. Basically saying, don't ask shit of nobody. Don't ask for help. Don't ask for things. Don't ask for money. If this was something that was instilled in you as a child, it's most likely reflecting into your life now as you don't ask for help. You're actually hyper independent now, and you don't rely on nobody. And when people put their hands out, you're hesitant to take it because what if you get in trouble for taking it? Ooh. So by becoming aware of this pattern that you went through as a child and how it's affecting you now as an adult, you can combat it and say, you know what? Now I'm realizing I can ask for help. I can ask for things that I want. I can put myself out there and not worry about somebody saying, no, you shouldn't fucking do that. Because this is your life now. You get to hold it. You get to create it. You get to mold it into whatever you want it to be. So to do that, you're going to have to break out of those old paradigms that you believed in. So at Ariana's Light, we go deeper than just your chakras. We dive deep into your DNA, into who you are biologically through the generations. Because your DNA is tapped into every single one of your ancestors, because they are what created the DNA that is within you now. And whenever your mother was living life and your mother was doing all of these things that were the same, then you're going to be affected by that down the line, because they each did it. They each did the same thing, so it's going to be in your coding for you to do it too. But say it's something like narcissism, right? You're not born a narcissist. I'm going to tell you that. They will tell you that, like in psychology and therapy and all that, that you can be born a narcissist, and I don't believe it. And here's why. I believe that narcissists are created by people who are insecure of themselves and who were already previously probably turned into a narcissist. So how they do this is they tell you you're conceited, they tell you you're selfish, they tell you all of this as a child, and you start to internalize it because you're like, well, they said I'm being selfish, so I must be selfish. And so you start to do things that seem selfish because you've already started to internalize within yourself that you are selfish. So just as your mother had been turned into a narcissist by your grandmother had been turned into a narcissist by her mother. So it's just going down the line, right? And so whenever it gets to you, you get to decide, well, everybody keeps calling me selfish and conceited, and they keep telling me I'm a narcissist, but I don't even know what that means. And you're out here giving people your toys and giving people your time and listening to people and loving them unconditionally, but at home you're a narcissist. So now as an adult, you get to choose within your DNA, within your being, I don't have to become that. I was conditioned my entire childhood to think that's who I was, when in all actuality, I was just asking for what I needed. You were not being selfish. You were asking for what you needed to not survive, but thrive. And most of the times, these mindsets are enveloped in states of poverty, in states where, if established fully without any sort of mental combat against it, then you will most likely establish full narcissistic traits. And to come back from that is a little bit harder than stopping where you notice that they're being instilled in you. And you can basically, if you've combated it before it can fully integrate itself into your system, you can go within yourself and you can decide that you don't have to identify with that anymore. So you get to ask yourself questions like this: who am I outside of what everyone has told me? Who am I? What am I trying to accomplish? Am I kind or am I mean? Ask these things, because these will tell you the truth about you. So now that we're getting to the point where we're combating it, we're diving deep into ourselves. So these journaling prompts are going to help you trigger your code changing, right? And this is something that I believe everybody can do on their own. You can do this on your own. I'm going to give you the free game to heal your DNA. And you still have the choice to come to me and work with me as well and invest your equal energy exchange into the DNA healing. And when I do this, I'll give you guys an example of it at the end. Let me put my cards down. But when I do this healing, I'm doing more than just messing with your chakra system. I am touching your soul, okay? Okay? So whenever you're writing down these journaling prompts, you are touching your soul. This is where you meet your higher self. This is where you meet that highest, most intuitive, purest part of yourself, right? So within this knowing that the healing is a little bit deeper than just your chakras, and it's a little bit deeper than just the journaling prompts, and that it's the way you tie the energy together that makes it the healing, right? You also realize that you're pulling things up to be processed. And we always use this term healing, and I don't want to make it seem like it's technical, but we live in a technical world, and most things are observed in a technical way. So if me explaining it in a technical way can help those who work on that wavelength, here it is for you. Whenever you are working on healing your energy, you have several different layers. You have literally 7 different layers, okay? You have to start out here on the 7th layer. The reason I went back so far is because my aura is so fucking big. I have to go back that far to showcase what I mean by the 7th layer. And then you go in, boop, 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 till you get to the center. Now, these 7 layers don't mean that the 7th layer on the inside is your heart chakra. That's just me taking it in. The 7th layer is your crown chakra. It starts at the root and goes to the top, works your way up. So if you're doing DNA healing, you want to do a Kundalini activation first. Warning, before you do a Kundalini activation, make sure that you are in a space where your mental and emotional feelings are going to be taken into consideration as you are learning a new version of yourself that does not apply to the old paradigm ideas that you used to live by. And you're realizing as you start to heal the root, the sacral, the solar, the heart, the throat, third eye, and the crown, as you move through the system, you'll realize how these things have been impacting your entire system for so long. So now that you have this realization and you know how you're feeling within all of your body centers, you can put it on paper and you can ask yourself why you're feeling this way. Why do I feel like I shouldn't be doing this? Why do I feel like this is where I should be going? Why do I feel like I need to let this go? All of that's going to come up when you do a Kundalini activation. And it's about you taking your time to answer these questions. And that's where you're going to get to that next layer of DNA healing, of DNA reconstruction. The journaling is reconstructing your DNA and everything that you do. Right? Isn't that so? To close out this learning here, the purpose of me sharing this with you guys and the reason why I'm moving away from tarot is because I want to get deeper. I'm just scratching the surface. You know what I mean? I'm reiterating the same message over and over again, just with different words, with different phrasing. And so I'm trying to break outside of the box that I put myself in, where I felt uncomfortable to talk about the DNA healing, where I felt uncomfortable to talk about such energetic awareness, because it's more about my environment. It's more about what's going on around me. How are these people going to perceive me talking about some crazy shit? Because it ain't crazy, but they're going to perceive it that way. And I've already perceived them perceiving it that way by perceiving it that way. But we're not talking about that. We're not talking about that. Because in this environment, I have no perception of what anybody's going to think. Let them walk by. Let them judge me. But when they do, they're going to hear what the fuck I'm saying. Just my 5 words that they hear while they're walking by is going to change their life. So let them hear me. Let them all hear me. Right? Because I'm here to evolve. I'm here to evolve with you guys. And if I keep doing tarot over and over again, even though it's not working for me, even though it doesn't align with me anymore, I'm going to be keeping myself in that state of non-evolution. Why the fuck would I do that? Huh? Like, I am giving an opportunity here to share my gift fully and to not hide it like I have. And I'm going to go for it because I don't know what's going to happen. But I know that when I went for tarot, some good shit happened for me. So all I can do is go to the next level, baby. And I hope you guys all join me there. Book a session with me at vernons.braces on Instagram, and we'll go ahead and get you guys started. Thank you guys so much for supporting and always being a part of everything that I do, and I'm so grateful to have you guys on this journey with me. Blessings.